Do you know the difference between doing business in Japan as opposed to doing business in Australia? The two major differences that I found were language and business etiquettes. In Australia, the primary language is English, so there would be no language barrier and you could communicate using English effectively. And in Australia, their primary language is Japanese. So if you want to communicate effectively, it would be wise to hire a translator. Also, if you wanted to do a proposal or do a presentation, it'd be wise to purchase some translation software. Also, you should get your business card translated into Japanese, and you have Japanese on one side and have English on the other, so they know that that's your primary language. And to the people that do speak English, it would be easy for them to read. And when you present the card, you present it the Japanese side face up because that's their primary language. To give you a geographic representation of the two countries, here's a map. The map on the left is of Australia, which is approximately the size of the 48 contiguous states in the US. And Australia has a population of approximately 21 million people, according to the CIA World Factbook. Also, the map on the right is of Japan, which is the size of California and has approximately 125 million people in their population. It's very densely populated for such a small geographic area, but it would be wise to do business with Japan because their technology and the amount of people that they have to sell your products to. The second major difference between the two countries that I found was different business etiquettes. We're going to start off with Japan. Japan, the dress code is very important. You should dress to impress. It is never appropriate to wear casual clothing in any business setting in Japan. And you should wear like dark or neutral tone colors. Don't wear any bright, loud colors because you look foolish. Also, women should not wear pants because Japanese men find that offensive. Also, women should wear low heels as to not to tower over their Japanese counterparts. Another business etiquette that I found was tipping. You should not tip in Japan. It is not appropriate to show money. When you're passing money, you should use an envelope. And it is customary for the host to pay for the event. So never insist on paying. You always let them pay for you as a sign of respect. It's not okay to show PDA, public displays of defection. That's not okay in Japan. Also, it is primary to give a gift to your Japanese hostess just to show your gratitude. You let them know in advance that you're giving them the gift, and the gift is usually given at the end of the event. And it should be wrapped very nicely with a bow. They place a high emphasis on the presentation as opposed to the actual gift. And if you receive a gift, you should take very good care when opening it. Don't just rip it open because they probably spent a long time on wrapping it. Also, you should not talk with your hands. I know as Americans we like to talk with our hands, but that's not the way the Japanese do it. And you shouldn't point, and if you do talk with your hands, use it to a minimum as to not to distract the Japanese. And in Australia, the different business etiquettes that they have is punctuality is a must. You should be on time for everything. And when you're out at a bar, you should only buy rounds when it's your turn. Do not insist on paying, as that's disrespectful because they're hosting the event, so it's primary for them to pay. And it's also, majority of the time, it's okay to have casual, like business casual attire if it's not like a major, like formal event. And the Australian people by nature are open and friendly, and they pride individuality, and they feel like your work should speak for itself. Also, another custom in Australia would be to shake hands when you meet somebody, as well as shake hands when you leave. In summation of everything that I've just told you, the major differences between the two would be etiquettes and language. I would place a high emphasis on the etiquettes because that's the most important of the two. You can always hire a translator, but you don't want to look foolish. You don't want to disrespect anybody because it would hurt your business.